What's up? How you going, guys? It's been a couple of days. What's up, buddy? What's up, Gianluca, Isaac, buddy, Ekialb? All the homies are in the house. Check out Bitcoin, man. Good reaction so far. I don't know what happened to my music. It seems to have stopped. Oh, there it is. Let me start from the top. So, I'm going to let some more people filter in. It looks like we're already knocking on the door of 47k already, again. You can see the, as a lot of us already know, a lot of you guys know, but for those who didn't, there was a false announcement, or a false start, by the SEC Twitter or X account that the ETFs had been approved, and that's what caused this giant wick here, which of course got sold back off, and you know, moments later, only, you know, a few, like 20 minutes later, Gary Gensler jumps on and says that's our account was compromised and it was an unauthorized post, so down we went. So back into the waiting game. But look, it seems to be, I'm pretty certain that the ETFs have been approved now. We've got the news finally, and it's been like a buy the rumor or buy the hype, buy the good news, I guess. I mean, look where we're at. We've had the news event, and we've rotated back up to the highs, and we're actually looking at getting back above 47 now, it seems. We're at least testing 47, so let's see how that plays out. Quite different to our usual sort of buy the rumor, sell the news type situations, because the implications of this news are basically fundamentally changing to how much money gets exposed to crypto, to Bitcoin. If you look at the total crypto market cap, so this is fiat, this is new money coming into the market. You can see we're at highs right now. This is the, let's go to the hourly. You can see just in the last couple of hours here that there's been some break of resistance there on total crypto market cap. So that's a good indication there too. So go back to Bitcoin, it's on the doorstep. We're 5 minutes past the hour, so we've got 1 hour left of the daily. If we jump out to the daily chart, you can see the volatility. I mean, it's nothing we haven't seen before with volatility. There's nothing too outrageous about this move just yet. I think even this part of the chart was a lot more dramatic, to be honest. That's when the Matrix Port article came out, which claimed that the spot ETFs were going to get denied or likely to be denied, and it caused this massive sell. And we've recovered off that and actually got up above that area, so that tells you how bullish this news is. Like, and then of course, yeah, we had the false start. Not fake news in a way, just early. Too early, wasn't official. This seems to be more official over here. And we're still seeing it play out, so that's really cool. I mean, look at the way we're bouncing. Look at the way we're traveled up to this point here. This is quite a lot of momentum in a short period of time, relatively speaking. So we might, you know, this might be left in the dust, this high. This might be a thing of the past in a couple of days, but we will see. For now, my positions have been set for like a couple of months now, so I'm just riding it out, letting it do its thing, no stress. Not trying to trade this volatility. I think a lot of people would have got wiped. I mean, look at this whipsawing. That's very insane movement through there. So people playing extreme leverage, you just you want to hope that you're on the right side of that, because some of those moves are very unforgiving. But it seems to, at least for now, have picked a short-term direction, possibly going into, you know, a longer-term direction or a continuation. I mean, we already have our direction, right? Yes, it did, James. Yep, it got approved. As far as we know, multiple sources, multiple sites, even on the SEC website, they posted a PDF file with the official rundown of the approval. So, I mean, that's looking pretty good. I think that pretty much confirms it. It'd be good to see like some kind of press release or announcement from Gary Gensler. Actually see it from his mouth, him speak words, and maybe even comment on what happened yesterday with the X account being compromised and jumping the gun on the announcement. But anyway, you know what? In hindsight, they should have just run with it. They should have just gone, yeah, they should have left it and not done this whole, oh no, our account was compromised. They should have just left it be, honestly. If that was the plan anyway, to approve it, they should have just let it run. So very sus. Like, you know, there's already speculation that it was a bunch of market manipulation at the last minute there. But, you know, we don't have the proof, we don't have the facts on that, so it's just, we can only speculate, right? Yeah, that's looking good. It pretty much, at this point, it hasn't been a sell the news event, I don't think. Not for the fact that we're coming back up right now. That is not a sell the news. That is continuation, if you ask me. Until we start losing supports, at least locally, like, well, this is a very definite pivot here. Here's another one. Obviously the wick down here recently. Those 3 points, you would have to start losing those supports to consider some kind of sell-off or correction. We're definitely not getting that. We're actually threatening to crush this resistance up here. So I still have the targets that I laid out months ago, weeks or months, whatever it is. You can go back through the streams if you like, but you might have heard me talking about the 618 fib level, which is 48,500 up to 50,200. So this is the golden pocket, this zone right here. This is the golden macro pocket. Now, just because there is a pocket there does not mean that we have to turn around and go back down either. We've seen relief off bear markets before come all the way up to the 786 level. So that's 57,500 at this point. So that's even on the table, to be honest. Depending on the health of the rally here and if we maintain this momentum, we could even be looking at all-time highs, just like the stock market is doing right now, honestly, in the next couple of months even. It really depends on this rally, depends on the supports and the market structure. We have not seen crypto with Wall Street inflows yet. This is a first. This is why this is a big deal. This is Wall Street money coming in to play. A lot of money on Wall Street doesn't have the avenue or can't onboard onto crypto in the way that we do as individuals and as retail. A lot of certain retirement fund money, all the, you know, hedge fund money, they need, or they can only function through the stock market. So the fact that ETFs are getting listed on the NASDAQ, CBOE, you know, you name it, those avenues are now opening up, which is, you know, bullish. If the demand comes in, I mean, the ETFs haven't even gone live yet, so we haven't really seen the long, and I think the effect of it is not going to be totally explosive to begin with. I think it's going to be a slow burn, and we're going to get, growth over time, much like we see when we have a halving event. At the point of the halving, there's no like explosive move, historically speaking. If we look at halvings from the past, let me open up a different chart that has the halvings marked out. I think I might have it on this one. Let's go to the weekly and turn log on, logarithmic. Let's see, TA, yeah, here we go. Okay, so all these yellow vertical lines mark out the halvings in the past. So you can see, this is the weekly chart, so, it took a number of weeks even before this halving caused a bullish move up. Same with this halving even dumped. This was during volatility back in 2016, so halvings, like I mentioned with the ETF, it may be a slow burn before it starts actually, taking effect on the market. So it's not to be seen on the day as a bullish catalyst from the get-go, like a rocket launch, it just indicates, at least historically, a growth cycle afterwards, which is, what has happened 3 times in a row now. So we are coming up on that 4th time. We're basically on the doorstep of the next halving. It's only, a couple of months away. So now another feature, if I'll hide these, actually, I want to keep the halving lines in. So I might actually take those out to a new group. Give me one moment. So we'll hide that folder so we keep the halvings in. And I want to look at the cycle tops. So these horizontal yellow lines mark out the previous all-time highs of the day. So these are back previous cycle highs. This is our current all-time high. This is why we have a yellow line coming across. So you can see the pattern. If we're to play to this pattern, I think, seeing a rotation up after the halving is not too outlandish to suggest. I don't think that's too crazy. Let me bring the other halving up here. So I'm gonna make sure that's hidden. Cool. So we're looking good. I don't think we're going to get thrown into a bear market anytime soon. Could we get volatility and minor corrections along the way? Sure. Like, that happens in bull cycles and bull runs, right? You do get drawdowns. It's not just one solid green rally the whole way up. Although it can look that way. It almost did back here. I mean, look at this. How many weeks in a row was it green? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. DOGE, or slightly down, but still all part of an uptrend. But you get the gist of it, right? You get the idea that you can get these extended periods of bullishness in the market. And we've seen that so many times after, like post-halving. So post-halving rally, you name it, we got it. And I think, it's not crazy or it's not moon boy to suggest that might happen again. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, I mean, that's all the perspective you need, really. Like, keep it simple. Why does it have to be more complicated than that? I think it's dangerous to bet against the trend. This cycle, this effect of Bitcoin with the halvings and, its trend, betting against it could be disastrous, That's not to say that we're not going to get another bear market at some point, but I don't think the timing is correct to expect any major sells. I think up is the direction we're headed, and there is a lot of reason and momentum behind that. All right, I want to quickly look at the S&P 500, so the stock market, because we know that crypto draws a lot of sentiment from the stock market. The stock market is the biggest market on the planet, the American stock market. So we derive and draw a lot of sentiment from them. A way to compare, like, let's see. Can you see how the stock market, let me go out to a bit more of a higher time frame. Would you want to bet long-term against this? This is 1994 back here. This is the early 90s. Betting for a long-term correction off this trajectory, like off that, I think you're safer looking for entries to go long on the stock market rather than looking for long-term corrective moves that take us down into the, you know, I don't think that's a very safe way to play. It's a timing thing, but yeah, look, at least for the indices, like the indexes, like the S&P 500, they are pretty much geared to go up. Same with the Dow Jones has a lot more data on it. Let me see if I can pull that up. The DJI. There it is. Okay, so this has over 100 years of data on it. Might have to go out to the monthly to capture that. Let's turn the logarithmic on. But can you see my point? This is well over 100 years worth of data. How long is it? 1,531 months, at least. There's your Great Depression. There's the Great Depression of the 1920s. This is before there were market safety measures, or, you know, before there was a Federal Reserve even to basically cause the interest rate factor. The markets had none of that. So there was no protections to stop this mayhem, this carnage. So yeah, unprotected, got the crash. We've had crashes of, you know, not the same magnitude, but pretty good ones along the way too. Like this one was the GFC, which was arguably the second largest crash we've had since, like, this being the first largest. Here's the dot-com bubble bursting, causing like an extended bear market. But other than those, like, three, there's the COVID dip back over here. There's the COVID crash, which was obviously globally impactful to all markets. So, I mean, other than that, like, I mean, there is really nasty catalysts for each of these crashes. And yeah, I don't know, like, if you're able to get through those periods like we have, you can see the recovery does happen. There is recovery, there's recovery. And I don't think it's too wise betting against America. The American, this is a direct reflection of America's capitalist growth. It's a capitalist society. It's got the biggest companies on the planet. I don't know what's going to end America. The debt crisis? They seem to figure a way to sidestep that issue anyway, right? They keep kicking the can down the road. Anyway, look, we're in Bitcoin. Arguably, that is a solution to this whole debt crisis issue, which may cause a gigantic crash. You could hedge into something like Bitcoin, right? That will potentially weather the storm, much like precious metals and gold, that kind of thing. By the way, let's quickly look at gold. Sorry, this is a very erratic stream. I'm jumping around the place, jumping all through things. But gold over time, it's a similar story, right? That's just increased in value. And not just increase in value, but it's also like the fact of the dollar, fiat currencies, devaluing over time because they are inflationary, right? They inflate the supply of dollars. So when you inflate the money, when you inflate the supply, you reduce the purchasing power. You dilute the power of the dollar, and we know that. So things measured against the dollar over time naturally look like they're going up. You can get charts that are adjusted for inflation. So a gold chart adjusted for inflation will look much different to this. It would be a lot less dramatic up. It would probably be a little bit more like maybe this, you know? Like the growth is still there, but it's not as insanely, you know, up. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back to our Bitcoin chart. Check out the hourly chart. We are really coming up to test these highs, I feel. Even still, there's a bit of a sell-off happening here right now on the short time frame. But it's looking good. Donnie, $10 super chat. Thanks, dude. Appreciate the support there. Boom, baby. I might drop in and say g'day to you if you're online, Donnie. If you're on Discord. If I may. I'm just going to crash the party. I better warn them that they're on YouTube before I continue to just talk over the top of them. Hello, what's happening? Hey, sorry, I've got my YouTube stream with me, so just letting you guys know that before I continue.
Oh, there he is.
What's that? I just wanted to like catch up with you guys.
Hey guys, listen, Australia is a real place and they trade digital currency there.
Yeah, exactly. So
my mother always used to say, Rick, don't bring no dirty girls home.
There you go. Probably some sound advice right there.
So what's the word? What's the sentiment from down under, man?
Well, I don't know. A lot of people were saying this would be a sell the news event, and we haven't really sold off yet.
No,
you know?
we sold
it's kind of cool.
We sold
yeah, exactly. Well, we had that false start with the whole, you know,
twice, right?
The false start with the SEC Twitter page, whatever. So we had that, we got that out of the way, and then we corrected off that, which was really cool for a nice reset, so that when the real news dropped, we rallied into it rather than, like, as in we recovered it, rather than, you know, dropped it.
We're still looking strong.
Which is cool.
Yeah, we're still looking strong. I'm glad I was wrong. I thought we would have been starting the dump by now.
Me too. I was actually on that, I was starting to get on that page too. Because
but tomorrow, Rick, when it starts trading, is what's going to be important. See what's going to happen, in my opinion. You know,
no, I agree. I think that's going to look interesting too. But when they go live, right? The ETFs.
They did dump that twice. They did that today, or they did it. The false, news. It came out twice. Did you see?
Right, twice.
Posted. Yeah.
Okay.
About 3 hours ago, they posted something else and took it off real quick.
Oh, you mean when the SEC website posted the actual filing to say that it's been approved? That was real. I think maybe it needs, like, they needed to amend it in some way, like with some of the wording, or I don't know.
Maybe that's what they did. Yeah.
Potentially, but I think. Yeah, that will be somewhat like what the document we will get eventually. Who knows, man? I guess we'll see.
Kabir had a question on what's opinion on ETH, like.
Ethereum.
But, yeah.
Dude, Ethereum's looking really good, eh? It's
it's friggin' ripping.
It's gone into new highs for the year and last year, higher than any point last year. That's great.
That's because they have a chance now of having their own ETF,
Right. It's not. That's excellent. It's an excellent progressive start there. Nice breakout. I really like the total crypto market cap chart, because you can see that fiat, that is the best way to see brand new money coming in back into the market, either returning to the market or coming in for the first time. You get that with total crypto market cap. So it's the best, I think, the best chart to look at. It's the best bird's eye view of everything.
That's the reason I was trying to figure out what, like, since everyone's gonna FOMO into ETH because of the ETF thing now.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm doing
Yeah, you're right,
What
man.
are
That could be the next thing is to front run or to buy the rumor of Ethereum, maybe even Solana. However, the SEC is still threatening that Solana is a security. So we haven't that's what sort of still makes me a little bit iffy about Solana. I don't think they'll kill Solana with that, but you know, maybe they'll have a fight on their hand down the road. We'll see. We will see. So I have to see. I'm not sure what is the SEC's stance on Ethereum right now. Don't they've
Blank
pulled
slate.
that in the same class?
Yeah, they're it's a blank slate right now. Everything's like up in the air. Gensler would never say anything official.
Right. I mean, the SEC has certainly wasted a lot of time and money chasing after certain crypto organizations and not getting anywhere with it and losing cases. Classic example, Ripple. They fought Ripple for over 2 years and lost. So if that's testament...
So now, Donnie, is this handed over? Is Gensler still got his hands on this crap, or is he gone?
No, he's still got a huge say in what's happening. I'm still waiting on that meeting to happen, you know, with Congress, where they announced the CFTC is now taking control of that, and I think that meeting is supposed to happen. I have to go back and look at the schedule, but I think it's the second week of February, maybe. There's a meeting then.
This, either way you cut it, Bitcoin ETF approval is a giant green light from America. Like, the US government, not only do they recognize Bitcoin as a digital asset and not as a security, but now they've green lit it to be that you can get involved through the traditional means, like through ETFs, which is, you can, if you only trust the avenues of the NASDAQ, CBOE, and the CME, these,
and imagine, Rick,
there is now that option to do that for that kind of money.
Imagine, Rick, imagine China, which is banned crypto. Those people can now, all those people can buy because they can, trade on the American exchange.
Right.
What can happen?
Right. Yeah. I mean, you could, maybe even China, like, I mean, who knows?
Well, they could
wildly
use
speculative.
VPNs, like Russia. They've been doing it all along.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
China could start.
No, you can't do it in China.
Adjusting
they'll
their
cut your dick
stance,
off. Yeah, they'll cut your dick off.
Well, they've kind of been left behind a bit. At least, maybe not for the big boys in China, like as in institutional and government bodies in China are probably still pimping bit like crypto, right? They're still benefiting from it in some way, I'm sure. They just don't let their public get involved, which is sad. So,
but now all those public will get involved directly because of the stock exchange. All the people who are,
right,
it's a legal way, right? So nobody can stop them because if they can buy all the shares, FANGs, and whatever, everything.
I think an economic powerhouse in China is Hong Kong, right? Like that's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, financial sector in China, Hong Kong. So getting, Beijing, Hong Kong, I don't know, what is their their legal framework over trading? Like, do they have as much freedom as the US and other major countries?
They can trade on, they can buy American Chinese stocks are listed on the American exchange.
Yeah.
So
companies, yeah.
So they can buy, they can obviously buy the, equities and legacy and everything.
Right. They'd want to, right? I mean, because they would they would be getting left behind if they weren't playing the markets.
Right, where
So,
and
yeah.
go where the liquidity, the bigger liquidity is. But you know
Right.
what this brings on though, this whole crypto theory, right? And you've heard it before, where if someone shuts down the internet, right? If we get a pulse that knocks out, you're going to stop all transactions in it. Now I know there's the radio, whatever that is, radio wave. You could still use that. Supposedly they were working on that. But what do you think of that? You know what I mean? That would be like a terrorist attack on worldwide. Well, they wouldn't do worldwide, but I'm just saying, like certain countries might get taken out, where people won't be able to transact for a while. Whether it
I
be
mean, that's gonna it's the banking will collapse. Forget about crypto at that
well,
point.
temporarily. I don't think it. I mean, I'm sure they're thinking about it. Well, I hope they are. I mean, I've read years ago about having the ability to still trade or still transfer money, not trade, transfer money out of country by other methods besides just internet, the radio wave or whatever the hell it is. But it's just another factor that is being implemented here to think about, that I'm sure these guys.
I mean, conspiracy theories can come up in any way and anyhow. But the fuck up with conspiracy theories are they don't happen. The things that happen, we don't even know how the fuck did they happen. Like the plane crash, the 9/11. You get what I'm saying? We can discuss everything, but we'll always be wrong because they'll do something we don't expect.
And they're part of it, so
Yeah.
it's like
Just zooming out on Bitcoin, the structure still looks healthy. There's no reason to think that structure has been lost and that we're due to come down at this point. So until now, like I don't see any major correction just yet. If I see structure loss, that's when I'll switch to, okay, we're short-term correcting here, like on a higher time frame, right? On the daily. But look, we're still up here. We're still way above 40,000 even, right? We're looking at 47. We've just spent a bit of time above 47, for God's sake. Like we've dipped back below it now, but dude, I think this is still bullish. Which is
my apologies, Rick, if you're streaming on YouTube. I didn't mean to bring in any.
Dude, I really don't mind. I've never been struck for any kind of spoken content. Like, never had anything like that. It's never been a problem in the past.
I just went off on a theory.
It's fine. Dude, YouTube's full of conspiracy theory videos. They don't get taken down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
know, right?
I mean, some do. Like, it depends on the topic, but
if it's political, I mean, I was just on Facebook and like this one, I guess there's a bunch of friend requests from people I went to school with, and I never really looked through it. But then I saw, this one woman, and I said, "Who's this?" She lives close to me, and then I see her posts, and they're political, like, they were deleted. You can't see what side politically she's on because Facebook took it off. But I don't know, man.
Fine.
They
Dude,
go
I'm
after
not
like
stressed.
shit like that, It's like, what happened to
Right.
freedom of speech? I mean,
Yeah.
if they're talking bad on Trump, they're going to take it off. I know that, but I'm not bad if you're talking good.
Well, that used to be. I think Twitter, before Elon Musk bought it and took over, that was heavily moderated, like speech and ideas and content was heavily moderated on there.
Now,
YouTube
Donnie
is not as
was
bad,
saying,
I don't think, but yeah.
Vivek is on. Donnie's here. I gotta hear.
Oh yeah, Donnie, what's your take on all this? That's why I came in here. I just wanted to catch up on your perspective.
On the old Bitcoin?
Yeah, just on everything. Yeah,
Diddy.
Bitcoin.
I'm still going back to the spot where I look back to the left, right? The GAN's built. We've got red lines marked out for all our resistance points, right? I come over here and draw a line straight across at all of our major pivot points over here.
Yeah.
And you'll see how well they line up with what's here. When you look at what's actually playing, I mean, the old famous megaphone pattern for topping structures here. So the moves get more exaggerated through this part of the trading scenario. You can see this ghost candles that I pulled from the left, just showing how volatile it can be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pulled from the left. So pretty cool little setup. I mean, it's just figuring out what's going to happen, when it's going to happen is, the thing. But I feel like as long as we stay above that, on my chart, I've got 40,132 right there. This was the low I marked. Everybody's got a different, that December 11th low, let's just call it that way.
I like
as long as we're above that and we're not breaking structure, I feel like we're going to stay in this trend. It'll be nice to see if we stay here in this area like this until March. It gives the altcoins plenty of time to really make it rain. You've seen today ETH running. If you go to the .D chart here, you see the big dump on it today. We were watching this like a hawk, watching it take shape, and when it finally started coming down, I mean, it just laid it to it. The next big factor we're looking at would be the USDT dominance finally breaking that 533 mark. Once dominance loses that 533, I think it'll be a big green light for the market. We want to see total. We'd like to see total
fresh money.
Start stretching out. If we can see total start crossing that, get up in that 2 trillion mark, 2.2 somewhere in there. That's when things are really starting to fly really well. Then. As of right now, I've just been watching. I've done the same thing on ETH. Zoom out, look at ETH on the daily. Look back to the left. Is it a coincidence? This blue line's right there. That's a good strong point there. The 0.25 on my bill. Look back to the left. It's also a great spot. Could it go all-time highs on this cycle? Take a lot of money coming in really fast in order for that to happen, but it definitely could go see that 3,000 range for sure. Possibly a 35 on this cycle. This is about where most of your other heavy run alts finished up, was up here in this area when you look back to the left. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a 35 ETH on this cycle. That's what I'm looking at, sir.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it. I very much agree. And I'm happy to switch to be, short-term bearish if we get the technical reason to look at it that way. You know what I mean? Like if we start losing supports locally, it's like, okay, well, we have a technical reason to see a downtrend for, however long that lasts. And then targets would be like macro structure. Like, so the 32 level is a very, we never really came back there in a big way to retest that as support. We only ever erupted through it. You know what I mean?
Correct. And that's one of the things. Another thing, Rick, I wish more people would talk about is when you get into these topping structures, just taking a measuring tool and just measure how big some of these moves really are. When you're zoomed out and you're looking at that, you don't realize that that's 16%. And that drop right there is 18 to 20. This run up back right here is 22. This pullback right here is 12. This run up right here is a little over 10. So when you get into these topping structures and what they call the megaphone patterns, things get bigger, and it's because of the cycle in and things going back and forth through the pattern, right? People just need to understand that it's going to happen here. So being very cautious with your leverage trades, setting stop losses, setting take profits. This is one of the key times that you really need to be setting stop losses play safe because it could get violent for no reason. It's part of the top and structure. Nothing up here surprises me.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm glad you
The-
I'm glad you brought that in, the megaphone pattern, Donna, because it shows you the bigger move spreads, right? Where people think they're safe at the 50 and they can just shoot right down through it.
this highlights why playing the markets
Draws the
slower,
picture better.
playing the markets slower with either less leverage or no leverage can accommodate this volatility that we've seen. Like, you know, you introduce more leverage, you have to accommodate, otherwise you're going to get chopped out of the market. So either you're sophisticated and you know how to protect your drawdown and your downside by stopping out real soon, or you face, you getting kicked out and losing your money. I learned that the hard way like last year, so I totally changed it up. I've slowed my approach way down to the market.
Yeah,
and
but it's a different game now.
It is different, yeah.
And my question is going to be, we're still going to do the same moves. I think Donnie can maybe agree to this. We're still going to be doing these, you know, resistance, support, resistance, but they're going to be, you know, are they going to be quicker because you got bigger money in the game? And
yeah, I mean, this is a top and structure, and this is why I encourage everyone to go back in time, go back to when we were at the same price, you know, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, right? And go measure the candles. It's nothing unusual to see, you know, 12 to 15% candles, major pullbacks on a single 20% candle on a single day candle. It happens over and over with these top and structures. One candle could be one way one day. You go 2 days later and it'll be just the opposite, plus 4% the other way. It's just top and structure. So people just need to be really cautious, you know, make sure you're in your trade the way you're supposed to be with a built trade. And you can make a lot of money just by moving your stop loss into profit. I've done it. I've been stopped in profit 3 times today. I just got stopped a while ago. It's aggravating, but at the same time, I'm not losing money on a trade that, you know, went south on me or round tripped one. Just slide my stop loss right into profit.
Yeah.
And I think it'll control, just like a stock, you know, a stock has especially like biotech, that kind of stocks, they make big moves and then people take their profit or they get washed out and then they don't trade for 3 days. So I'm wondering if the ETF, because it's supposed to trade with Bitcoin's price, supposedly, we'll see, you know, if it stabilizes somehow. And if it does that, then it's going to be more like a swing trading, which is great. I mean, I've made a lot. That's where I made my profit on swing trading on spot. And if that turns out the way here, and we're going up over 100,000, and 5 years down the road we're $1 million, you know, you're talking for like somebody like Crazy that's in his mid-20s or whatever. By 50, if this plays out, he's going to be set. He'll be set in a couple of years, the way he's going. But I'm just saying, that's what I think would work very well with crypto. You know, you kind of like tame the animal, and still you can trade the shit out of it without worrying about too much manipulation or whatever you want to call it. These crazy moves.
With Bitcoin's cycles, I just wanted to talk about the how Bitcoin has found itself coming up to all-time highs, bear marketing off the back of them, recovering that, but the point of eclipsing the previous all-time high has happened post-halving in all of our previous halvings, right? We're approaching our all-time high. Like, it's not terribly high up from here. It's only $20,000 more, which is a lot of money. Like, that's a big move still. But yeah, that maybe we could break a record there and revisit the all-time high pre-halving. But look, like, I guess the way it's playing out, it's already more bullish than the previous halving, like the way we're coming up into it. Namely because we don't have a COVID-19 pandemic on that's affecting the whole planet right now, which is if we were to get something time similar, like if it would be happening right now, basically either now or next month would be where that COVID drop would be, roughly speaking, like pre-halving. So provided we don't get any black swan events, we are really like rallying in toward this halving quite nicely. It's like very strong momentum, I think. Probably down to, I think a lot of that is thanks to that whole ETF factor. But yeah, could be a
well, just keep in mind, Rick, one of the things that we've talked about over and over in here is you've got the big talk of rate cuts coming in March, right?
Yeah.
And so that a lot of the stuff that we're putting together on trying to find our timing here on our vertical timings and the patterns that we're looking at and doing measured moves, we're trying to measure Elliott waves and all that, and tying it all together. There's a good chance that March has a big dump. We're looking at, a big play there that could, really catch people's attention. And I'm like, so what news event is there, right? And Lord knows what kind of news events they're going to have right here in this topping structure, when it sees a 16% dip in one day. If we make it up to 51, the next day it drops to, 41,000. People are going to be like, what in the world is going on? There's going to be some sort of, news event, and they're going to, call it COVID dip or all over again. And it's just normal here. And that's why I encourage people to please go back in time, zoom in on the chart, and see that this is nothing abnormal. The events, the swings that we're seeing, this is normal in this part of the chart.
Yeah, I know, right? It's nothing to be concerned about, and I just think this, the way we're ramping up into this possible price discovery section of the cycle, like I think that is definitely on the cards. Like, I think that's a fairly safe bet. I mean, nothing's perfectly safe, nothing's a guarantee, right? But price discovery, oops, I'm just trying to like trace this out on my chart here for the stream. But we hit price discovery, and even opening a trade to go long at price discovery, like at the moment of the break of the previous all-time high, has historically been a good play. It's been a good position to get into still. It's late, but it's basically a play that waits for confirmation, It's a confirmation play. It's like the sensible trade, the smart money, or the safe, not the smart money, but the safe money. Like, safer money is what sees us get to those new highs, So, and that's yet to come. We're not there yet. We're not even at the price discovery moment yet. So I think on the big picture, you could get that nice rally up, taking us up, 100K and beyond potentially, right? That'd be really cool. What we don't want to see is a double top. Like, the stock market, the S&P 500 isn't there yet. It is looking good, but the risk or the threat of a double top is still there for the S&P 500. We haven't yet gotten through it yet, but it's early to call it a double top. We still have to see it play out anyway. So, but it is looking good. I mean, all things considered, we're on track. What are we, like 9 minutes from the daily close? So that's cool. It's a good time. It's a good time to be on stream. ETF approval day, daily close. It's all happening. The altcoins are looking strong. Ethereum's done well today, and probably likely for the next however many weeks, I'd say. As though it's like catching up, I'm gonna hide all these notes. All these brush strokes. Right click, create a group. All-time highs and price discovery, we call it.
Man, I can't believe just caught one of these stink bugs. They're still around. They're like freaking cockroaches. Middle of winter.
What's up, Johnny Fold? Johnny Sevenfold. Paul, how are you, man? Happy ETF day. Gold Coast Hikes, good morning. Is that you, Samson? Maybe it's a different Samson. It's Samson with a P, Sampson.
On
That's not
your
you?
YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube comments.
No.
No, someone else.
You have a link on here for that?
For my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can grab one for you.
It's in his
Yeah.
group.
It's in my
It goes live.
my
It's a
YouTube
button.
announcements. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
but I can still
saw
grab
it
one. Hang
time.
on a sec. Share, copy. I'll put it in Donnie's general if he's okay with that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Drop it right on in.
Yeah, there you go, bro. That's mine. I picked out a nice Gary Gensler picture.
Oh boy, I
With the
bounced
thumbnail. 5 minutes to go, huh? For the daily. Speaking of the daily, I'm going to jump to the daily chart and just see how this plays out. How we, like, what kind of close we get. So we're still, like, at this point, we're closing below the previous 2 days. Well, the close of 2 days ago and then the open of 2 days ago, like that. We haven't been able to maintain that level. It would have been nice to get a daily close above 47, but yeah. I think the volatility is still settling down. Like we're still chopping a lot for now. Things are still very much unsettled.
Yeah, but it's still ranging where it was, kind of like, right?
That's what I mean.
I mean,
Yeah, we're still
yeah.
ranging. We're still chopping in a range.
Which is good. I mean, I still feel they're gonna pull something funny and pull us down and then up again pretty quickly. So I'm not, right now I'm out of everything. I made some good trades in the last couple hours and I'm good with that. Now I'm waiting for, like I said, tomorrow and see how this plays out. If it plays out like on a swing trading cycle, that's the greatest. It's the easiest way that I've made money in the last bull market.
Definitely.
On spot.
Yep.
So
Slow the market down.
kind of, yeah, lasso it a little bit and
Not as in like slow it by time, but slow it by volatility. Like just tame it a
Exactly,
little bit, for lack of a better word.
But man, what a
Tame the chart.
what a couple weeks, right? It's crazy.
I know, it has been wild. I mean, ever since mid-October is when the ETF rumors were starting. Well, not the rumors, but like the hype train started around that mid-October. 16th or 15th or 16th of October. Yeah, the 16th was when we got that big first candle, that big spike up. And then ever since then, it's been a big old hype train. All of that zone right there. Which has not been killed yet. Like, the train has not yet stopped. So it's
I gotta make it.
it's such and such 57. So we've almost 2.5 minutes left. The daily. Looking like it'll close fairly strong. Or relatively strong. Considering that our bear market low was 15.6 thousand, something like that, right? High 15s. And we're up at 46.5, 47,000. That's a lot of progress as far as like recovery is concerned. Yeah, that's really nice.
And structurally, it done it the way it should be done. No big boom candles, just a nice walk up.
Yeah.
Worked out good. I think it done. 3 steps, took a break, 3 steps, and here we are taking this little break at this last top step up here.
Yeah.
I think it's working out nice.
Yeah. The fib retracement from all-time high down to bear market low. We're coming up, almost knocking on the door of the golden pocket. We're currently, we've sort of like tested the high. Like, look at the high from March of 2022. We made a high of like 48k. So it's like revisiting that high, basically. So there is going to be a little bit of resistance in at that level naturally, but it doesn't mean that we're going to get shoved back down. It just means maybe we have to spend time beating up against it like an ascending triangle would do, right? Before getting a breakout again. But yeah, it's early to call it, I think. Maybe when the ETFs go live, it'll be fuel enough to get through it. Because there is another high over here from December of 2021 of $52,000. That's like beyond the golden pocket. And then I also like the 786 level, $57,500, which from here is a 23% climb. Now back to the all-time high, it's almost a 50%, 47% climb from here.
Hey, what market is there? A market that opens like 9 p.m.
There's the daily.
EST?
There's the daily.
Yeah, it looks like they're pushing it back up.
The ETF candle.
Yeah, it's another thing in our book, right? Everything that happens in crypto, we're keeping track of it.
And the day before was the Gary Gensler candle. The false tweet. The SEC Gensler candle. That was the.
I just wonder, are you going to be around at market open in the morning, Rick?
Yeah, I've got the next 2 days off work, so I'll be around. That'll
probably be a sight to watch, man. That's probably going to be.
Yeah, I think the next week or two it's going to be a lot to watch. Like as things play out, as the trends establish themselves, I suppose. Whether it be a downtrend or an uptrend, we just have to find out. But yeah, it's going to be good either way, I think. I'd love to see the alts catch up because there's still. I mean, Bitcoin has almost come up to its 618 Fibonacci level, so it's recovered 61% of the bear market so far, almost. Solana, it's still working on the 382. Like it has seen some action above the 382, but it's basically back at the 382. So it's got a long ways to go to catch up to Bitcoin as far as recovery. And that's obviously Bitcoin leads the way. Bitcoin leads the market. as far as, you know, progress. I'm not talking about performance, but progress on recovery and market moves. Bitcoin tends to move first. Yeah, it'd be cool to see Solana maintain some kind of trend and then get back up and then test the 618 fib level. That'd be like $160 Solana. But then there's that big old pivot on the left from April of 2022, which is about $140, just to give you a round number. It'd be cool to see that price. Anyway, I'm going to wrap my stream up now. We've seen the daily close. By the next time I stream, hopefully there's more interesting things to talk about. But yeah, cheers. Thanks for tuning in, YouTube, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.